stood on the sand of the sea, and I saw a beast rising up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and on his horns 10 crowns, and on his heads a blasphemous name. Welcome to the Revelation 13 podcast.
There are points in this world which hold a key to a secret, a key to a mystery, a key to the unknown. Come with us as we unlock the doorways to these strange places.
Hello and welcome to the Revelation 13 podcast. I'm your host, Mike Hopwood. In southern Peru, in the Nazca Desert, there are lines and symbols etched into the ground. They have survived for over 1,000 years. The understanding, meaning, and purpose of these lines have been lost in the passage of time. Speculation from calendar to spaceport for extraterrestrials have been put forward. Definitive proof of the lines of Nazca's purpose have yet to be found, but looking into the details of what is known about them may give us a better understanding of what they are. The lines would first be mentioned by Spanish chronicler Cesar de Leon, who wrote about strange signals in some parts of the neighboring desert of Nazca in the 1500s. The lines would not be officially discovered until 1927, when Peruvian archaeologist Trujillo Mejia Esepi located them while hiking through the area, but their true scope and complexity would not be uncovered until several years later, in the 1930s, when aircraft would spot them while surveying for water. When fully revealed, the Nazca Desert contained 900 geoglyphs and 70 biomorphs. The biomorphs are animal and plant figurines, and the geoglyphs consist of geometric forms including straight lines, triangles, spirals, and trapezoids. The first scientific inquiry into the Nazca lines was in 1941, when Dr. Paul Kosak from Long Island University came to the site. Examining the lines by air, he felt he discovered the world's largest astronomy book. He believed the lines and biomorphs corresponded to astronomical points in the sky. It was noted by Spanish chroniclers that pre-Columbian priests would use stars and planets to work out their calendar, specifically Venus, Mercury, Jupiter, and the Pleiades star system. Gerald Hawkins would test the theory with the aid of computers in 1968. Lines were found to be astronomically significant, but the overall number was not any greater than statistical chance. This would indicate that the main purpose of the lines was not calendrical in nature. Several other theories have been proposed to try to explain the nature of the Nazca lines. English explorer Toni Morrison believes the lines are linked to old folk traditions from the people living in the nearby Andes Mountains. These people would have wayside shrines linked by straight-lined pathways. The worshippers would move from shrine to shrine, praying and meditating. He believes the lines of Nazca were used in this same manner. Other researchers believed the connections to water are the key to the meaning of the Nazca lines. The lines may point to water sources in the mountains or even the path of water under the ground. The lines could also have association with the gods the ancient peoples worshipped, and be related to fertility rituals as well as prayers for water. The lines and biomorphs can only be fully appreciated from the air, signaling that they were meant to be seen from the air, probably by their gods, although one researcher believes the ancient builders of the Nazca lines may have used flight of some sort in their construction. Jim Woodman, who is a member of the International Explorers Society in Coral Gables, Florida, believes an ancient piece of Nazca pottery shows an airship. Acting on this theory, they constructed a hot air balloon out of materials available to the ancients of Nazca. They launched the balloon. Within seconds, Woodman was 600 feet in the air. After a few minutes, the balloon was back on the ground, having been unexpectedly been taken by a gust of wind. Woodman and his passenger fell out of their seats. The balloon then advanced to 1,200 feet in the air and flew for 20 minutes and covered a distance of almost 3 miles. The experience proved that the ancient Nazcans theoretically could have flown over the area, but it cannot be verified that they did. Post found that some of the lines seemed to indicate that the Nazcans didn't need the use of flight to create the geoglyphs. The post, which carbon dated to 500 AD, suggests a relatively simple surveying technique was used to create the lines, but this issue of the ancient Askans having some sort of flight capability is not without merit. In the nearby Paracas region, there is a site known as the Necropolis, which dates to the beginning of the Nazca period. This area was used as a burial site for high-ranking dignitaries and priests from the surrounding areas. The necropolis contained more than 400 mummies wrapped in shrouds and wearing elaborate cloaks. The 2,000-year-old artifacts are made from cotton and alpaca wool. Some of the many elaborate designs show a strange masked people who appear to be gliding or descending in a steep dive with the help of many ribbons, which are floating around them. Could this be a representation of some type of man-carrying kite? South America has already turned up artifacts that show a type of delta-winged aircraft that is aerodynamically sound, so some type of ancient flight is not out of the question. Because the lines are meant to be seen from the sky and are connected to the Nazca's ancient gods, author and ancient astronaut theorist Eric von Daniken believes the lines and biomorphs are remnants of an alien spaceport. Many of the lines resemble modern airport rail runways. Recent discoveries of decapitated bodies on the site suggest that the site was used for fertility rituals. 8 bodies have been found buried, seated with no head. A ceramic jar painted with the image of a head was placed next to the bodies. The head image has a tree with eyes growing from it. The ritual is associated with agricultural fertility. The ancient Nazcans were known to collect trophy heads. They would remove the brain and soft tissue from the skulls and sew the lips closed with cactus spines and drill holes in the forehead to accommodate a rope that they would attach it to for display. Originally, it was thought that the skulls came from neighboring tribes, but DNA analysis confirmed the skulls came from the Nazca population. Human sacrifice is a recurring theme in ancient fertility rites. Many cultures would offer up their people as sacrifices to their gods for beneficial crops and to stave off disease. Nazca has the most famous geoglyphs in South America, but there are a few others. 850 miles to the south of Nazca is the Giant of Atacama, located on a solitary mountain in Chile. It is the largest human biomorph-like figure in the world. At 393 feet tall, it dates to 600 to 100 AD, making it contemporary to the Nazca lines. The figure is thought to represent their god and has alignments to the moon, which is believed to help with their planting of crops. The figure has an alien-esque look about it and has been looked upon as possible proof of ancient alien contact. This desert carving, which is similar to the Nazca lines, helps us define the purpose of the lines, the connection to the people's god, the calendrical use of some of the lines for the growing of crops, and rituals for water and abundance of food. In the foothills of the Andes Mountains along the Pacific coast, there is a geoglyph resembling a large candelabrum at Pisco Bay, Peru. It was first discovered by Spanish